to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the RationalInvestor.com's for the interneting. Chris and I are reporting in from the road. I just picked him up at the airport yesterday, so he made it to the West Coast in one piece. If computers made it in one piece. Joe, we might need to do a computer. We hit your neck of the woods here later on today. I think I think I saw him on the site. So, not the most sort of professional, 100% really good usable information for everybody here today. I'll try my quite sure what value I can give you guys, other than maybe support. Hey, I'm in this with you guys. I don't know. Let's see. We got Nick says, I certainly hope for you to not be. I know, you're telling me. Wow. So technically, you guys running it from Comfort Inn. Gotta tell you, man, fucking breakfast choice. I'm on my second cup of. Oh, it was a lot of fun. Got to and have nice dinner last night with Francis in Seattle. And as I said, later on today, we're heading off to Oregon. We'll try and do the Coinigy show. And maybe he can help Chris. Got a little bit of an issue with computers. That's why we started so late. Sorry about that. And Mr. Market. Mr. Market, pretty uppy. A little surprised the breadth indicator is sanguine as it is. If I understand correctly, I think the heading of today's show is going to be stocks to new highs. Well, let's see if the chart. One chart. There you go. So you can stock market's catching a nice bid here, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the all-time high here above 5,000. So happy 5,000. Look at crypto coming alive here. So I kind of noticed that, and that's probably the main bent of today's conversation. As I said there earlier, on the econs and news of the day, but we can just summary. U.S. trade gap narrows. An interesting there. If you believe in the U.S. hegemony and the American bankers own the books and Rothschilds and all that crap, then you would actually want to see this trade gap widen. More wide it gets, the more the world stays. Trade gap narrow. Sadly, anything here. Did find it interesting. Fjord had the kahunas to step up and say he was bullish of Alibaba. And I heard him say, yes, Fjord, I couldn't believe you said this. But what the hell, I'll bug you. Oh, the fundamentals are good. Oh, you gotta be kidding. But anyway, it is what it is. I love Fjord dearly. I don't think fundamentals within the Chinese society right now. But having said that, it almost feels like it's like dead cat bounce time. They can only stretch the rubber band so far, and this thing's just been melting down. There is talk that the Chinese government is going to try and do another stimulus package, and I think they fired. Didn't have it here, but earlier where that the Chinese sort of Politburo, whatever the hell you want to call that nonsense, CCP, total totalitarian dictatorship. They fired one security, brought in another, or something like that to solve the problem. To hell, as I showed you on the chart there, and I don't know, maybe Jordan said, "Holy Jesus, you know what? Let's go put it there and get him all super bullish." I just wonder whether, you're going to get one of these kind of W's that works. Oh boy, we roll back over after everybody sort of forgets the tout and they go back to sort of business as usual. If anything, E, B, C, D, I'm a little surprised actually we didn't trade down to this 1.618, but yeah, that's more tech. And if we look at self, and you got to hand it to Stuart. I love how step into the breach there. I mean, maybe it's an Adam and then Eve over here. And I suppose if we're just risk takers and we don't really do is trade setups, a good technician should, then I suppose you can make the argument that this is reload zones. Let's see if I can do that. Boom. Will that work? There you go. So 78.6 is kind of idea down in sort of buying window. I suppose the icing on the cake would be, do we have a nice big fat bullish momentum divergence here down at the bottom end of the range? You can see the divergence is building. It hasn't confirmed yet. I think you need to see this W actually confirm and you might even want to write this down a little note probably never heard before, but does your adventures, a lot of old timers, they say want to see 2 bar confirmation, any breakout to actually believe that it's for real. So maybe that's what the market needs to see is that 2 bar confirmation. Did notice, my favorite momentum sort of oscillator gauge, the MACD histogram, uh, hasn't quite broken out. You can see it's put in this, but that's not a divergence. But I'd actually like to see this bigger one here confirm, which means we got to see some sort of rally information. Take the market up through there, and then see where it's got a shot. We should pull up Alibaba just for fun and just throw in my 2 cents for whatever it's worth. Current bid's about a half a penny. Baba. What the hell the symbol is now? There's Baba. There it is, Alibaba. I'm even surprised that this thing's still listed on the NYSE. Surprised they didn't knock it off of there. All right. Who can tell me what chart pattern this looks like? I don't know, I'm not even watching the chats, but hopefully you'll have fun bantering names about Adam, Steve. Steve's got a bit of a package. Um, kind of a cockeyed inward head and shoulders. Actually, I suppose last night's TRI club would have been a really good meeting to attend, but unfortunately, road. Actually, I was having man, I had an incredible sushi dinner with Francis in Seattle yesterday. Huge meal, and actually, I even I saved Chris for when he got off the plane. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want Cobras, Brian. Get that out of my face." So, and that's what you said, right? Anyway, and then we had like a total feast here this morning. I couldn't believe it. And, hats off to Chris. He said, I'm not going to find it, or I'm not going to be sad unless they serve a hot breakfast." That was a smart. Gotta give you a bone knuckle on that one. That was so. Anyway, I guess you can hear his voice. He's a little bit less stressed out, eh? Just the day or two before leaving, it was like, oh God. Well, at least now we're on the road. Right? Anyway, so interesting. Adam and Eve, and maybe we should call this Adam and Sjord. So that's maybe a Sjord pattern. I don't know. I mean, want to invest in companies. I think you probably better focus on big American tech companies and dabbling over there in China. It's just my personal opinion, but me, I can't trust anything from over there. So, but I did find we saw this yesterday. And then sort of that comment to the SOF club, I would have, I suppose when we get it sort of settled into the rhythm here on the road, we'll probably be able to do this, show a little bit. I would have liked to have gone in and reviewed yes last night because I even wanted David to specifically look at this yesterday, but just ships passing in the night kind of idea. Because you can even see they've actually carved a nice M right at the megaphone level. So Dane Blockmates guy, uh, you were asking specifically the other day about megaphones. Man, this is the absolute textbook. This is the definition of megaphone trade here. So interesting how the M top, right? We want to basically short the M, want to risk to new highs. Notice that that's about almost exactly 5-to-1 risk reward on a revisit of the bottom end of the range here, and just basically filling in this big charts. And ironically enough, and it'll be interesting, only time will tell, as they say. I'll just leave this open. In fact, actually, when I was talking to Frank, we were I think that the biggest job for any trader to do is to get that free look established. Free looks that will make you rich in this. I have no idea what's going to happen here, but it's a free look. Wrapped on two over here, off of the bot setup. Target was hit. Let one of them go, so you make money. And the bills and all that kind of fun stuff. And you've got this runner on here, and I don't know, you just don't know what the hell breaks out. And hint, hint, hint. Anytime the bullets actually do start flying, the United States is involved, everybody goes piling into the. And I mean, I can't really quote anything in particular, but for the United States to be dragged into some global war here is building by on that basis. I suppose you could argue that this thing will be waffly and weak if we have continued. Uh, and I guess it was on another page that I think it was TRI's news page. Biden starting to look a little bit like a pussy, uh, going and like murdering Iranians themselves. The Iranians actually murdered Americans. Uh, So his sort of like, well, okay, go punch your friend in the nose versus actually you in the nose. I don't think that's really doing the U.S. a favor. We should go toe to toe here. In fact, actually, it would be cool if there was like a nuclear war while we were down in El Salvador. It'd be fucking awesome. Wouldn't we be stranded down there? There you go. We're good to go. She went and invested in link system, man. He's rocking. I never expected that, eh? Change in my screen and I don't want to lose this. All right, you guys having fun today? I hope you are. I mean, this is a bit tongue in cheek. Yeah, a lot. I guess business as usual with Brian. But anyway, just talking markets with you. So, point of the matter here is this is a bearish chart pattern dollar in the short term. Mega setup. It's actually pretty textbook, ironically enough. And you can see it's just working away. And this thing is working its way down, then usually what it means is people are selling off things like US treasuries and US bonds and stuff, and they're going to pile their money into international proxies like the euro and China D. The hell have I clicked here? I think I did the wrong button. How do I get to? There we go. So you can see Euro's been catching a bit overnight. Interesting how we're pivoting here, though. Yen was rallying, but it seems to be stalling out here a bit. Well, commodity currencies don't really look too happy today. If anything, today's Wednesday, isn't it? So we had oil inventories out here earlier today. They came out about just about 2 hours ago now. And I think there was a bit more of a build than people were expecting. So the oil market's a little bit softer here. So that's actually a bit of a surprise. I actually would have thought that the international currencies would have been a little bit firmer here. So maybe this top in the US dollar, maybe that's, in fact, actually, for fun, probably do things like fog and bombs and stuff. And you might find that that actually got 2.618 in there somewhere. So hit a little bit of a stall point here. Or Let's see. Obviously, 64,000. Well, no, let's say call it the 300-pound gorilla, as they say in the corner of the room. Look at what the fuck Bitcoin and crypto is doing. There looks like they're having a good old time here. Interesting. Usually, this spread chart, when it's rallying like that, usually that's a top for Bitcoin. So that's a little bit of a surprise. But I do see that the dominance here really came off, putting quite a top here. And you can see it looks like the little guys are actually the ones catching a really nice bid here today. And look at our total market cap. So why don't we finish off this free video here today? Quick boo over at crypto and Bitcoin and all that. So weekly chart, nothing's really changed here. As somebody pointed out there in the Zoom call, I mean, really, we should be on vacation. And really, and actually, we're gonna have to go get Chris's computer fixed now. So party. Um, but I still think that we are very much range bound. But the good part about this is that prices up. Anybody who bought Bitcoins or crypto along the way, they're not bitter right now. They're kind of like, okay, well, I've made my bought the Kool-Aid. I'm not going to buy any more, but what the hell? I'm a Bitcoiner. Rah, rah, rah. Let's go Bitcoin. Uh, if this thing goes and tops out and starts breaking down, back into the blah, blah. But we're not in that environment right now. If anything, what an absolutely beautiful analogy of chaos theory. So, we had this quite long consolidation all through last summer, had the breakout through the eclipse, and we literally ran straight up into the chaos level, and we are just literally parked. This is literally the market in chaos. Some bulls, some bears, end result. But that does open the gates for the little guys. And notice there's a bit of green on the screen here today. That's the crypto total market. And I suppose you could argue if we went back to the Bitcoin chart and you looked at that daily chart, you'll probably see that same inverted head and shoulder repeatedly. I don't have a chart up on the screen here today, so yeah, maybe we'll look tomorrow. Um, but this is looking awfully inverted head and shoulders, isn't it? Now, I think you can make an argument, especially for all the little traders out there in trading cryptos and stuff, that really this is probably a nice little bullish sort of call it a bull flag, bull, how you want to call it. Actually, let's see what's the best time frame to do this. There it is. So, remember actually the one good thing that I did like about the whole FTX debacle was that they had created like those old indexes. And I think that was half the reason why they saw so much capital flowing into them is like they had like shitcoin index that you could actually trade like uh perps and stuff off of. So I don't know where you to actually trade something like this. It might be an interesting project for this site. Where would we trade the total market cap if we wanted to take a trade on this thing? But it does look to me that we've got some sort of bullish bot working here. And considering the stock market is still as strong as it is, to me, this is, yeah, there you go. Merry Christmas. Yeah. So, and if you only saw me now, I'm actually doing this on the television screen right now. But anyway, so one low, two lows, three lows, four lows. You can see the W forming. You can see the really tight consolidation right off the 25 level. So I think that this trade's in play here. I wouldn't fault you if you were long the alts, and really what this is simply suggesting is we probably got to go right back up and tag that bigger, higher time frame neckline of that formation, right? So that little itty bitty bullish bot, I guess that's there to there, is going to take us right back up into this high here, right? You can see the inverted head and shoulders, which is like the bullish bot kind of thing. And what feels like the candle body highs or trade location. So you can kind of see it coming. And at the same time, too, we can see Bitcoin. It did. Have we? No, we actually haven't gone through yesterday's high here. I guess last week's high. We go back to the daily chart. I don't have the daily charts on my screen, but there is that inverted head and shoulders, same sort of thing. So, I mean, hell, I think you can trade Bitcoin and Bitcoin futures. There's probably a nice little trade on like the futures contract that you could trade. And probably also too the same thing on things like Ethereum. Where would be the best place to do that? I wonder? I don't really want to tinker with this too much, but I'm having fun. What the hell? And how much time do we have? We got to check out soon. About an hour and 10 minutes. All right, thanks, man. Um, okay, so let's for fun, let's see what they look like. I think actually there's like Ethereum futures too that you could trade if you wanted to. So what is that? Is it ETH, the whole thing? I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Futures. Great. ETH. There we go. Yeah, looks like it. All right. So ETH was the one sort of lead charge. I think you can actually see, if you were at the helm paying attention, it looks to me like this actually already. Mm, well, I suppose you could probably just do this thing if you wanted to be in this. There to there, roughly. There. So 33 made that. And I'm going to project that up top. And throw on the bot levels. Bot. There we go. Ah, interesting. So you can see the double bot basically is that breakout. So Ethereum's off to the races. And I suppose also do things like maybe fog and bombs off this bottom here. Just keep it simple. We'll go something like that. There, and then chaos. So that projects up into the actually where we are right now. Actually, we can maybe adjust this a bit. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Looks like the crypto market is moving back up top. And if I understand correctly, is that at some point in the not too distant future, Ethereum is going to have its futures, its ETF, and all that kind of stuff launched. So probably actually the one like real bright spot of the entire market here right now is this crypto space. Interesting how the Russell 2000, we were barking earlier about, oh, yeah, look at that, the S&P is going to new highs, NASDAQ on it, and the Russell 2000, which is the broader sort of base of the economy, 2000 biggest stocks, it's kind of just stuck in the mud. And interesting, look at the commodity currencies actually, and look at this Swiss franc really coming off. You're probably going to see the gold market come off a chunk on that as well. So there's your report here for Wednesday. What day is it? It's the 7th of February. I don't know whether I did the like justice here today, but at least if anything, good you're hearing our voices. I don't know whether you can hear Chris in the background or not, but we did make it in one piece on the ground. Here we are officially in USA. USA. And enjoying the good life, I suppose, here. I don't know. Good, bad, and different. We'll be making our way down the west coast. So as and if anything, we probably won't do an after party here because we do have to check out of this hotel relatively soon. Um, and um, and we'll check in. We'll do the Coinigy show tonight. So we'll have basically 2 hours of crypto. So everybody try and tune in for that. Or at the very least, Joe, are you on the call here today? Where is Joe?
I think I saw Joe on YouTube, and then there was another person on YouTube that asked you about some Solana stuff and coins unlocking. You might be able to answer that later on in the crypto show.
Yeah, why don't we address crypto in earnest in the show tonight? We'll have a bit more time once we get to Joe's to set up in earnest. We're just sort of operating out of a funky little hotel room here right now. So if anything, consider the Coinigy show that we'll do tonight as our sort of formal crypto. We'll walk through the whole universe and actually, really dig into what's going on here in the space. If anything, that's good. It's a good sign. And what I did see, like I said, when I was sort of scrolling through the crypto space, lots of green on the screen. So I don't think anybody's got anything to complain on today. And if anything, oh goodness, no. Which list? Oh, here it is over here. Oh yeah, little old lady. All right. So I did notice that some names, and maybe here's a nice little treat. Some names are already actually starting to work their way higher. So this is a really good example where you should have taken last year to establish your risk-free trade. The trade does happen to come right back down to the bottom end of the range, and I can reload. Okay, fine. But if this thing just says, sorry, I'm to the moon, next stop moon, then what the hell? I'm in. I've got my free coins and basically sit back and enjoy the ride. That's the whole point. Forcing yourself to step up at the bottom end of the market and simulating. So there's a really good example. I mean, everything that we teach you guys, big fat weekly W's. Don't take risk. Sell half push risk-free trades. And now I'm laughing. TRI's laughing. Who knows where the hell this thing goes? And if anything, we'll be buying Lambos and islands and all that kind of stuff at the end of all of this in 2 or 3 years. Let's see where the hell they take this damn thing. So, as much as you see possible, and if you get those pullbacks, like there was one I got Stuart to buy an act. Didn't I say I was going to stop talking? Am I still talking? Why does that keep happening? Anyway, good old Shiba Inu. Good example. When I pulled this chart up the other day, I was just like, I can't believe things just sitting here and nobody's talking about it. So I have no idea whether it's going to perform or not, but I'm willing to take a risk off of a chart. That I guess this is the log scale. Yeah, chart that looks like that. I'll go and nibble away on something like that every day of the week. And the irony of it all, I just showed you that CHR. You could make the exact argument, and this is what I'm trying to teach you guys. And I really hope to God you're all doing this. But you can make the argument that us buying down here when I did is before is exactly the same as that SHIB chart. Get the little pop up, get yourself the double, risk-free trade established. And then this thing can easily go to new highs, and that's exactly the same thing as this DNU. It's identical trade. I mean, that's the irony of it all. So you can't say there aren't opportunities just sitting there ready to go. It just, are you ready to go? Hey, on that note, why don't we call it a day? Wish us luck on the road adventures. PMA for the win. Love all of you dearly. Can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. Sorry if I was a little bit of a self-centered shit over the past few days with my narcissism and obsessed with my personal crap. This whole experience is way just Brian. This is all about, making that positive difference in this world. I'm immensely appreciative of all of you in my life, and I couldn't do that without each and every one of you. Hugs and kisses, love dearly, and just wish us luck. Have yourselves a great day for the win. Slow and steady wins race. Remember what your number one job is. Don't take no win. Bye bye for yes, motherfucker.